We are
We are so much more.
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars.
And savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy.
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Good evening and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, home of the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau, along with Joanna Settles. I'm Emery Songer, and we're going to be bringing you a Class 4A semifinal between Glenwood and Bishop Heelan. Joanna, we just sat down in these chairs, but we have been in the building and just witnessed a triple overtime semifinal, which knocked off the top seed in this bracket. I don't know how we're going to follow that, but I can tell you right now, both of these teams see a wide opening as an opportunity to be a favorite probably in the state championship game.
Well, both of these teams are hungry for a win, but an unbelievable finish to the last game. Cedar Rapids Xavier's freshman, Libby Fandle, was huge from three-point land. She, with a shot there at the end, she scored 18 points to lead Xavier into the final round, and an incredible season ends for Dallas Center Grimes. Emma Miner finished with 16.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you think about it, you got a freshman who goes, and she had 10 rebounds on top of that, and she played 39 minutes. We do have to say that. She didn't get that in a regulation 32-minute game, but she was out there for 39 minutes of basketball, and, I mean, she's going to be a big factor no matter who will play them in the state championship game in Class 4A. But the two teams we have here, Glenwood and Bishop Heelan, we'll take a look at how they have done, not just the way they got to state, but also the first games that they played when they got up here, because both of them looked impressive. We'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. For Glenwood, I think, the thing that you need to keep in mind was they got the 2 seed and were able to get themselves lined up in the 2 spot and barely survived Bondurant for our 64-59. Jenna Hopp with the 18 points. Madison Camden also with 18. You can see the steal numbers there, generated a ton of turnovers. And then on the other side, Joanna, for Bishop Heelan, they were able to steamroll their way into this semifinal round with a 54-33 win over Waverly Shellrock in the quarters. They were led by Brooklyn Stanley, who we're going to be saying her name a ton, 23 points, 6 boards, 4 steals, and Peyton Schermerhorn was able to get the 10 points to supplement that. But generally speaking, you've played sports, you've been in athletics. Would you rather have the skin of your teeth victory, or would you rather know that you were able to comfortably get yourself into the second round of the state tournament.
You know, at this point, it's all about winning, right? So you don't care how you get here. It's so exciting for the fans and for you at home watching when it's a nail-biter like the last one was. But these are two of the best in this 4A semifinal. Bishop Heelan was our 2020 champion, and Glenwood lost by only 3 points last year in the state championship. So both of them are hungry for a win today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll have plenty more for you, including our starting lineups and the tip-off. Class 4A state semifinals, Glenwood, Bishop Heelan coming up next. It is the girls' state basketball tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside. Here for good.
It's Fairway Family Food.
Name one reason more people choose to shop at Fairway.
Lower prices.
Name something that Fairway is famous for.
The best meat in town.
Survey says!
Don't play games with your food. Shop Fairway for the best meat in town.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Until next time, this is Fairway Family Food.
We're back here live from Wells Fargo Arena as the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here. We're getting set for the last game of the day, fourth day of action here. I'm Emery Songer along with Joanna Settles. Glenwood and Bishop Heelan Catholic, winner of this 2-3 matchup, goes to the state championship. Will play the 4 seed Cedar Rapids Xavier. Joanna, it's time for our Kruger Seeds to Success, and that, of course, presented by Kruger Seeds. On top of that, when you talk about the seeds for success, I think we all know what we're talking about here. Let's go ahead and start with the 3 seed Bishop Heelan Catholic.
Bishop Heelan needs to extend their defense and make sure that they don't let Madison Camden get loose behind the three-point line. She's made 55 from 3, so they've got to know where she is. They play tenacious defense, and they want to hold Glenwood to under 40 points. Glenwood Rams want to keep the ball out of the paint, as Bishop Heelan has outscored their last opponent 28-10 in the paint. They also have to rebound well to limit second point opportunities. Bishop Heelan 12-0 in second chance points in the quarterfinal round.
I mean, that speaks for itself. Rebound, don't turn the ball over, extend the defense. It all is a formula for winning, and you could have a formula for winning as well with Kruger Seeds. Next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, just give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. You can learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We'll be right back. We'll have the big PA announcements for the starting lineups tonight, and we'll also have the opening tip-off. It is the Class 4A state semifinals right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars.
and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy.
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
Welcome back. We are live here from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, and it's time for the starting lineups between Glenwood and Bishop Heelan, and we are going to go ahead and go straight down to courtside to our public address announcer for those introductions.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior.
Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship on the court and in the stands. Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team compete.
Thank you for your attendance. Enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 4A semifinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters for the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Number 3, Addison Keel. Number 13, Peyton Schermerhorn. Number 23, Jaden Newberg. Number 25, Sophia Kuntz. Number 31, Lauren LaFleur. Number 33, Julie Verzel. Number 41, Kiki Demke. Number 43, Carly Kobe. And number 45, Abby Lee. Your assistant coaches, Jeff Donaldson, Jessica Carson, Sean Miller, and Olivia Sulentic. Now let's meet your non-starters for the Glenwood Rams. Number 5, Lydia Foose. Number 11, Danica Arnold. Number 12, Lauren Roenfeld. Number 21, Nyla Nanfito. Number 23, Molly Williams. Number 24, Grace Neitzer. Number 25, Kate Hughes. Number 30, Charlie Hernandez. Number 32, Cameron Crouch. And number 33, Lauren Hughes. Your assistant coaches, Brian Diekman and Holly Schneider. And now, it's time to meet your starters for this 4A semifinal. For Bishop Heelan at guard, a 5'3" sophomore, number 1, Maddie Demke. For Glenwood at guard, a 5'11" junior, number 3, Jenna Hopp. For the Crusaders at guard, a 5'8" junior, number 5, Lauren Peck. For the Rams at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 13, Abby Hughes. For Bishop Heelan at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 11, Brooklyn Stanley. For Glenwood at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Madison Camden. For the Crusaders at guard, a 5'9" junior, number 15, Kenley Meese. For the Rams at a forward position, a 5'9" senior, number 34, Kennedy Jones. And for Bishop Heelan at forward, a 5'9" senior, number 21, Jocelyn Verzel. For Glenwood at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 35, Brindley Arnold. Head coach for the Crusaders, Darren Koolstra. For the Rams, Brian Rasmussen. Ladies and gentlemen, now turn your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table as I introduce to you your officials for today's 4A semifinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Mark Warth, Patrick Ensminger, and Chad Schellmeyer. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
All right, here we go with Class 4A semifinal, last game of the day. Bishop Heelan 22-2 on the season. The 3 seed in the 4A bracket. Glenwood the 2 seed 20-4. And if you're looking at their losses, a couple of those losses came to teams that do not play typically in the state of Iowa. So a couple of very talented teams. Here we go with a tip-off, an uncontested one that is won easily by Brindley Arnold. And here we go with Glenwood wearing the white uniforms trimmed in black, a little bit of gold in there as well with the basketball. And they are shooting, of course, at our right hoop here in the first half. Dribbling around is Madison Camden. Camden to Abby Hughes. Hughes dribbles, tries to penetrate, kicks it out into the corner. There's a cross-court pass by Kennedy Jones. Glenwood being patient here on the first possession of the ball game. Jenna Hop. Gonna rotate it. Fly by on the closeout. Catch and shoot 3. Arnold way long. Easy offensive rebound, grabbed and put back up and in. Abby Hughes gets things going and takes the lid off of this one.
A big offensive rebound to start the game by Hughes.
And what about Kruger Seeds' seeds for success? You got to keep them off the offensive glass. That one's a little weird, though, and tough since it was an air ball that set it up. But definitely want to try to prevent those second chance points. For the Crusaders, their first offensive possession, working against a little trap zone in the half court. Here in the short corner, up. Oh, there's a clean block there by Hop, but nobody went and grabbed the rebound, and it's pulled down by Jocelyn Verzel. And the Crusaders will get a second chance opportunity of their own. Verzel kicks it out 3. Peck in and out. Rattled around. And then stolen from behind. Back up and a foul called. It didn't look like she got a lot of contact there, did Brindley Arnold on the arms. But when the arm comes forward for any reason whatsoever, typically the shooter is going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Right, you can't break that vertical plane. You can see there a great strip, and then you can see how Arnold brought her arm down.
Around and out. There is still a lid on this end, it looks like, because we're about a minute and a half in. First free throw missed. Kennedy Meese is the free throw shooter on the season, a 65% free throw shooter. Second one up, and that one around and does go down.
Yeah, Bishop Heelan's offensive firepower comes from Brooklyn Stanley and Kenley Meese. And as we go down, Glenwood's scoring is from this terrific trio of Jenna Hop, Madison Camden, and Abby Hughes, who scored 53 of their team's 64 points in the quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, it's stolen away by Maddie Dimke. The sophomore kicks it ahead quickly. The Crusaders want to run. They'll stop. Back to Dimke. Goes down. I think that was tipped, and it was not, and it goes to Glenwood. Nobody reacted to a deflection, but it looked like Bishop Heelan acted like it was deflected. Either way, it'll go to Glenwood here. And as we saw in our previous matchup here in this building tonight, that went 3 overtimes. Every possession matters. We got quite a slow start in that one as well, scoring-wise. It wasn't until later in the game that the two teams kind of opened it up offensively a little bit.
They did. It took them a while, but they sure scored a lot of points in the first and the second and the third overtimes.
It felt like the overtimes were faster paced than the rest of the game, as there's a reach-in foul. Dimke never really had a chance. She was matched up. She's 5'3" on the listed height. She found herself against 6'3" Brindley Arnold in the post on a switch. Arnold went to work, drew the foul, and I think that's actually a favorable outcome if you're Bishop Heelan, just to put her on the free throw line, although she switches in the first.
Yes. The lefty, Brindley Arnold, is a great defender. She has 189 rebounds on the season. She's number 5 in Class 4A.
Yeah, she is a double-double threat every time she steps on the floor, averaging 9 and 8, essentially. So definitely in the mix, as there's an IMT insurance substitution. You learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Coming out of the game, that's a deflection. And now eventually ripped away. We'll get more to that in a second. And then lost that time by Abby Hughes, and then taken away for good here by Meese. Meese hustles into the front court, goes into the corner, catch and shoot 3, a foul. 3 shots coming for Jada Newberg, who was the IMT insurance substitution who just entered the game, and she is going to go to the line for 3.
Look for Glenwood to mix things up. They'll slap on a press once in a while. They're kind of just sporadically will they do that. They don't have the depth to do it all the time, but it caused a turnover, then they gave it back up. So they'll be mixing things up, so we'll have to pay attention to what they're doing, and so will the Crusaders.
Newberg splits the first two free throws. Just 17 of 24 during the season leading into the state tournament for Newberg at the free throw line, so it doesn't get there too awful much. Looking to try to go 2 for 3 and tie the game up at 3 in the early going, and she does. And that's a great point, Joanna. When you think about getting here, everybody's going to even tighter rotations than you might have had throughout the regular season. It's something to keep in mind as we move forward throughout this one, because remember, we played 3 overtimes, essentially another quarter and a half of basketball in our previous semifinal that we saw here at Wells Fargo Arena. Here's a drive off glass. Jenna Hopp able to get it in. She leads the way, or is second on the team rather, with 17 points per game, but you can see her ability just driving, and again, Glenwood settles into this half-court trap zone.
You're so confident driving, knowing that you have Brindley Arnold on the weak side to clean up anything you might miss.
Yeah, those second chance points are something that they absolutely love to take advantage of, as that pass was deflected but caught still. Cross-court skip pass, pump fake. Newberg drives, pulls up from 15, splash. There's some energy immediately off the bench here from Newberg.
Let's talk about the defense here. Coach Kuhlstra from Bishop Heelan said that they play unique defense in that they play the passing lanes. They're always looking for a steal, and that's something that most offenses don't go against.
Abby Hughes well off the mark. She's a volume shooter from 3, but only shot at about 26.5% on the season, and that one well wide of the mark. They have played a game here, so you can't really use it as too much of an excuse, but the backdrops here, when you have on this much space behind the backboard, can definitely mess with some players. As Newberg, catch and shoot from Demke, knocks it down, and Heelan's got their first lead of the game.
Demke, just a sophomore, so 2 years ago when they won it, she wasn't here. She was still in 8th grade.
Here's a pull up there. She's going to try it again, and this time through and through, Abby Hughes knows I can make these shots, and immediately came back down and shot another one after missing poorly the last time. This one perfect. Ties the game back up at 8 halfway through this first quarter.
Yes, and that's her 28th three-pointer on the year.
Bishop Heelan with the basketball. Newberg, thought we were going to see a heat check, and I think it took her teammate Kinley Meese by surprise underneath. I thought she was positioning for a rebound, and instead saw the pass coming to her, a fastball that she couldn't handle.
Little miscommunication. They'll regather.
Brooklyn Stanley will take a seat here for Bishop Heelan coming into the game. Kind of anchoring the middle there is Lauren LaFleur, a 6'1" junior. She's going to patrol the middle of this zone defense.
Now, the zone defense is a 1-3-1, so they want to get it to the weak side, which there's fewer defenders there. They also want to utilize as she drives there, they want to utilize ball fakes to try to get some movement so they can find the open person.
Yeah, that's one of the really interesting things that you have when you have multiple ball handlers that you trust, like Glenwood does have. You can create offense against a zone defense when you have a player who can penetrate 1 versus 1 and force a little bit of movement without having to pass the basketball. That's something that against a really strong zone defense you're going to need. As the first free throw good from Hughes, 70% free throw shooter on the year. Second one on the way. Back iron, rebound pulled down by Newberg, who's been very busy off the bench so far here in the first quarter. Crusaders with it. Here's Newberg, well outside the arc at the top. Surveying. Back here to the left side.
Yes, Glenwood in a 2-3 zone. The Crusaders are trying to get it to the high post and work that angle or even penetrate and kick.
There it is, right into the middle. Here's Newberg. She'll go back to the top, and Demke. Demke wants to go back to her. She does. Trying to get it inside, but you can definitely see that is not something that Glenwood's defense is willing to give up at this point. They would dare the Crusaders to shoot over them, and then they force a steal. Here they come on the other end. Camden all the way, left hand, left it short. Rebound, pinballs around, eventually grabbed, pulled out of there by the Crusaders' Meese, but there was a traveling violation before they were able to come out of there with it, and it goes right back to Glenwood. We've seen this back and forth a couple of times, ping-ponging possessions. Just feels like when the ball is in play, we're at a breakneck pace as we go from one side to the other, but both sides are very patient in the half court.
They are patient in the half court, but when it's busy, there's a lot of scrappiness going on, a lot of deflections. I know both teams, have such pride in every possession, so they even keep stats of deflections, which they want to lead to steals, but don't always do that. So a great idea to keep track of those defensive, scrappy plays.
Outside, here's Hughes. Danica Arnold has entered the game as well for Glenwood. Multiple substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Here's a catch and shoot three, around and out, no good. Rebound loose. Arnold dives on it, tries to get rid of it to somebody, tries to go to her sister, cannot, and there's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go to Bishop Heelan on the possession arrow. And there's the scrappiness that you're talking about now. Jump balls don't really end up in the stat sheet the same way as like a turnover would, but it essentially is a turnover, and that's the kind of hustle plays that you're going to see early. But for every single possession we see like that, with bodies on the floor, everybody going all out, trying to win that possession here early, it's going to wear these guys out as we get later into this fourth quarter, because remember, this is a busy week. Usually you play 1, 2, very rarely a third game in a week. You're asking these players to play potentially 3 games in 4 or 5 days. And here's the second of those games, and both of these teams are big-time hustling teams. So you're going to see a lot of that elbow-greasy type plays throughout this one.
You know, that's the style of play they have. That's what their programs are built around, all about defense, all about hustle, all about great team chemistry.
The drive and a rejection. There's a lot of size in there between Jenna Hopp and Brinley Arnold. They're able, between the two of them, to get the rejection, and here comes Glenwood, and they'll settle into the half-court offense. Both of these teams' defense, though, definitely seems to be very disciplined in that zone, and that's obviously why they're here and why they're the second and third ranked teams coming into the state tournament. But they are definitely generating a lot of deflections and not allowing a lot of easy looks shooting the basketball outside of those couple of Newberg shots that she was able to knock down early.
Glenwood not used to seeing this 1-3-1. It's an odd front.
Oh, there's a great play, and there's more elbow grease on the floor, and there's another jump ball, and we're going to keep it down here with the Rams. But, man, this is going to be an exciting game, because who's going to have anything left at the end? If we're playing like this here still in the first quarter, you might have to go to an extra person on the bench to make sure that you have the energy you need out there.
You may, but you want to have more steals and fewer turnovers, and both teams are accumulating a lot in both categories.
Here's a kick out. Hop. Going to leave it behind her, and that's not a great spot to be. And that's she either stepped on the line or it's a traveling violation. They're going to call it out of bounds. Turnover either way. That was kind of a dangerous handoff right in the corner. She had nowhere to go and was double-teamed in that zone, and it results in a predictable turnover.
Which is exactly what the defense wants, right? They want to put the pressure, use the sideline and 2 defenders to try to force another turnover.
Yeah, I got to give the defenses from both of these teams very, very, very high marks from credit for their discipline, but also how handsy they all have been. There's an up and under and a finish by Meese, and that's our first bucket in a while, and Heelan retakes the lead at 10-9.
Glenwood coach Rasmussen said he wants to use our size advantage. We really want to play big and get the ball inside. They haven't been able to score much in the paint.
And a rejection that time by Jocelyn Verzel, and here come the Crusaders again. They were trying to get it inside that time, but this zone defense is not allowing them to. A catch-and-shoot three, a lot of contact, no foul call. The ball's still loose under the hoop, keeping the dribble after going to a knee, and eventually getting fouled is Danica Arnold. And for as much contact as we've seen, that's only the 5th total foul between the two teams that we have seen called here in the first 7+ minutes here. So, I mean, I'm out of breath just talking about the action. I can't imagine what it's like to be playing in a game like this where it is rough and tumble, but also both of these teams scraping together possessions to try to just get a good look, and that has been hard to come by on both sides.
It has, and you can see the Crusaders come out now and change their defense. They go to a man-to-man to see what they can come up with.
It's a beautiful pass off the awake side, and finishing that one is Kennedy Jones.
And you definitely can't leave a player alone under the basket for an easy 2.
3 seconds left. Crusaders need to get a shot off. Demke gets it off in time and scores the floater. And we go back and forth in the last 20 seconds. Heelan gets the last laugh. 8 minutes of play in the books. Bishop Heelan 12, Glenwood 11. We'll be back with the second quarter of action right here on the Girls State Tournament, brought to you by the Mid-American Energy Company.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars
and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Des Moines. The yeses are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist.
And welcome back in. Emery Songer alongside Joanna Settles. This is the Girls High School Basketball State Tournament brought to you by Mid-American Energy Company. Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600, and that means the college experience that opened doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply at central.edu. Second quarter underway. Bishop Heelan with the basketball and a 1-point lead. 12-11 is our score. Been a very defensive-minded first 8 minutes, but the two offenses were able to put together some buckets in the last minute or so of play. Working against this Glenwood zone. Coming around underneath the basket. Kick out, and a three. On the money, Brooklyn Stanley. The first time we've said her name offensively.
Yes, penetrate and kick, and you have to know where Stanley is. She's their top scorer.
Better than 14 a game on the year, had 23 in their quarterfinal win to get themselves here as they cruised into this round, whereas Glenwood really had a scuffle against 7-seed Bondurant Ferraras. There is your inside look, Joanna, with Brindley Arnold able to use that 6'3" frame and get the layup.
But it's the weak side of the 1-3-1 zone down underneath that can be open, and that was a great dribble to get it underneath to Arnold. That's 8 points now in the paint for
Arnold. The rejection on the rebound, and here coming the other way is Abby Hughes. Hughes surveys, hits the corner, pump fake, inside the arc long two, misses everything, but again, that leads to an easy rebound, the miss, and then the miss on the second putback. Arnold, I think, would like that first one back, but you can see things starting to open up a little bit here early in the second.
It is. She rushed those a little bit. She just needs to take a little bit of time.
Nobody's blocking her shot from down there.
No. She's got the size advantage. They put her on that weak side board so she can clean things up, but she's got to finish.
Swish for Lauren Peck, and she knocks down a three. Just a 21% three-point shooter. She shoots a lot of them, though. She's not going to get cheated on them, and she knocks that one down. She averages about 5 3-point attempts a game. Hughes, the answer! Okay, and all of a sudden it's a shootout, just like that.
It is. Both teams like to score. That's 9 points now for Abby Hughes.
And that all came after she missed a three badly. Nothing but air. Came back down, shot it, and had no problem. Too strong on the pull-up by Brooklyn Stanley. Rebound Glenwood. Here comes Hop. Hop's going to settle it down. And now she's going to drive. That was a tough shot. Partially blocked. I believe it was Verzel who got the deflection. And Demke going to get it into the front court. Stepping inside for a 15-footer. Left it short, but gets the friendly roll to Stanley. And you can see she's trying to assert herself now. That's her third straight trip down the floor that she's ended up taking a shot.
So against this odd front zone, this 1-3-1, they want to get it to a side to try to, there it is.
Oh, and a beautiful pass down to Hop. That was an excellent pass by Kennedy Jones. That overhead soccer style, but a bullet that was able to beat the defense rotating and allowed Hop to finish with a layup. Demke to the top. Heelan, 2-point lead in the basketball. Peck, cross-court skip past Stanley again. Why not? Why not?
Yes, that skip pass doesn't allow the defense to respond quick enough.
All right, we're heating up over here with Brooklyn Stanley. Here's Hop at the top. She tries to go back underneath and return the favor to Kennedy Jones, but her pass just not fast enough. Two players from Heelan got a piece of it before they stole it away. And there, Jones hustles back down, deflects the pass, forces it out of bounds. IMT Insurance substitutions onto the floor. Into the game for Glenwood comes Danica Arnold once again. Also coming on for the first time is Kate Hughes. Pair of players coming in for Bishop Heelan. Lauren LaFleur back in, manning the middle. Also back in is Jada Newberg. Those substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Inbound on the way, tipped away, and stolen. Camden tracks it down, surveys. Didn't really have an opportunity to go up with it because she had to take too much time to grab the ball. They eventually rotated around, and Hughes again!
Hughes is feeling it.
Heating up on both ends. Here is Newberg into the middle. They're going to kick it out to Stanley. Stanley drives. Eventually rotated around. Catch and shoot three. Meese rattles one home. What has happened to this game?
Well, we knew both these teams know how to score. They both average around 60 points, and that's what we're seeing. They're scoring teams.
But the first quarter, it was just like a rugby match out here. You couldn't get anything going. And next thing you know, these teams can't miss. Deflected pass. Retrieved for the moment. Now the elbow grease continues. On the fast break, Stanley crosses over. Left-hand layup is good. Heelan up by a touchdown. Timeout, Glenwood. Glenwood head coach Brian Rasmussen not happy. He wanted the timeout on the made field goal. Official waited until about half court to give it to him, and the conversation continues. But look at the finish. Stanley continues her excellent play, and it looks like this is going to be a full timeout. We'll keep it here. So what exactly happened between the first 8 minutes and now the first 4.5 minutes here in the second quarter? It's two completely different games.
Well, there were so many turnovers before they barely had crossed half court. Well, now they're getting a little bit deeper into their half court offense, whether that's a ball fake or a little penetration, and now they can move that defense. They can skip pass. They're using the high post, getting it to the weak side for some open looks, and the girls are draining shots from all over.
All of a sudden, Heelan is 5 of 7 from 3. Glenwood is 3 of 6 from 3. We have multiple players knocking him down, as you see the big-time three-point shooter, Abby Hughes, knocking one down for Glenwood there among the shots that we saw. When you look at Brooklyn Stanley, the 23 points that we saw, I mean, she was very quiet. We maybe said her name once or twice in the first quarter total, and all of a sudden she has exploded for 10 points here in the second quarter and is on fire. So you're going to have to keep an eye on 11 in blue, keep an eye on 13 in white. Those two are dueling right now here in the second quarter of this game. Out of the timeout, Glenwood with the basketball, down by 7. This ball poked away by Dimke. Eventually able to get it out. Another three, this time from Hughes, no good. Rebound tipped out by Stanley and eventually taken by Newberg. Here's Stanley outside the NBA three-point range. She's going to cross somebody over, go in, a lot of contact, it's a charge. And that might slow her down a little bit if you're able to at least defend her that way.
Yes, well, they changed defenses. The Rams came out and said, you know what, let's go into man-to-man and see what we can do just to keep things mixed up, mixing up our defense, see if they can react. And there, Hop moved off, got planted, and was displaced by the offense to get the charge call.
Got another IMT insurance substitution here, entering Brynlee Arnold. I feel like Glenwood cannot go more than a minute or so without her being in there for one reason or another, and that's why you see her come right back in after a quick breather. 3 minutes to go first half. Glenwood still down by 7. There's a traveling violation, a lot of contact, but eventually they're going to get Hop on the steps. Jocelyn Burzel back into the game as well. Both of these teams have plenty of players that can shoot it from outside, but the real impact player down low is Arnold. It'll be interesting to see how Glenwood tries to get her back into the game offensively because, like you said, she does have space to operate once she touches the ball.
She's a great player down low, but she's actually their 4th leading scorer on the season. So she's not their go-to. She's kind of their cleanup player.
Here's a drive. Nice offense, working that zone against them. Like you said, Joanna, just moving the ball, kind of moving some players with the ball movement as Hop goes all the way. That's a tough finish from Jenna Hop, and I think a necessary bucket for Glenwood here as they try to avoid going down double figures. Heelan up by 7 with 2:15 to go. Up at the top, Newberg looking around. They are without Stanley on the floor for the time being as she gets a rest. She may not get much of a breather in the second half. Dimke, I'm not sure who the pass was intended to, but it finds Newberg. Can't get the finish. Rebound tipped. It'll stay down here. Newberg, with 2 taller players and Jones and Arnold right next to her, was able to force it off of them.
Newberg off the bench playing incredibly well in this quarterfinal matchup.
You can definitely see that her 6th man kind of
role
moniker, she's playing starter minutes in a starter's role essentially, but the timing of her coming into the game kind of works to where she's going to be seeing a lot of second-unit players from the opposition, and she gets to stay fresh during the times where starting units will probably be tiring. Oh, a little pump fake. Got a little wiggly legs there on the defender, but good recovery there by Jones. Here's Newberg. She thinks about it, shoots it over hop. Why not? How close are we to a Jordan shrug from the entire Bishop Heelan Catholic squad? Jones, a catch and shoot. That one off the mark. Dimke fights for the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball as she battled in there. I mean, she is the smallest player on the floor, but she is always around the ball. And the possession arrow is going to give the ball to Glenwood.
She is. She's lightning fast. She's so quick. And she's just a sophomore. Of course, she had that swish for two to end the first quarter.
Yeah, and who knows how big that bucket will end up being. It really gave them the momentum going into the second. Is that it's too strong there by Hop. Rebound off the long Karam, pulled down by Verzel. She'll slow it down to give it to Dimke to get into the offense. Near side, back to the top. Still no Stanley on the floor right now for Bishop Heelan, but they lead by 10 with 1 minute to go. Drive, what a finish. Kinley Meese, very under control on that baseline drive, and all of a sudden it's a dozen, the spread on the scoreboard. That one poked away. The diving on the floor, it's still loose, and it does hit the line. Good effort, though. Got to love it from Lauren Peck. Getting on the floor, trying to rip it away. Man, you got to love that style of basketball. That'll make any coach smile.
You do. The Crusaders play with a ton of intensity. You can imagine their practices day in and day out. This is how they play, and it's starting to wear down Glenwood.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get a couple of buckets before the half, but they definitely seem to need that halftime buzzer to come sooner rather than later. Here on the drive, what a pass. Excellent work by Hughes to Jones underneath.
Yes, nice penetration. She felt the double team and saw the weak side open for a great assist.
Opportunity potentially for Heelan to try to hold for one here with 20 seconds to go. Here's Peck. Back to the top in Dimke, and that's exactly what it looks like they're going to try to do here. Just run a little bit of motion and maybe get one final shot and go to the locker room up double figures. Here's a catch, shot, Meese! Hop with one from half court. Too strong. What a half, what a second quarter for Bishop Heelan. It all started with Dimke's little floater at the horn of the first quarter. They rolled the offense all the way through the second quarter. Meese swishes home a three at the end of the second, and Heelan a 13-point lead at the half over the 2-seed Glenwood. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your second quarter and first quarter, your entire first half statistics. Also get you set up for what to expect moving forward throughout this game. But man, Bishop Heelan on fire in that second quarter, 38-25 at the half. We'll have plenty more on the way coming up next right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community.
Like family, like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Welcome back. You're looking live at a very artistic halftime show going on here at Wells Fargo Arena. And at the half, as you see on our screen, in Class 4A semifinal, the 3-seed Bishop Heelan, a 38-25 lead after an explosive second quarter over Glenwood. I'm Emery Songer. I'm joined by a guy who, man, he's got some memories to take back to Cedar Rapids with him. Cedar Rapids Xavier head basketball coach Tom Lilly. Coach, 3 overtimes. 55-50, the final score. Before we talk about kind of the overtimes and your feelings here, because I could probably guess your emotions at this point, but it felt like the game actually sped up and the pace increased, and you guys really got into more of a rhythm the longer the game went. Is that about how it felt for you? Because it seemed like scoring was at a premium throughout regulation.
Well, it certainly was, but I think that both sides, especially our kids, felt as though, you got another chance here. Because I certainly think that at halftime they weren't quite feeling really proud about how they played. We had a nice third quarter and put some points on the board. And then when each team had opportunities to win in all of those overtime, well, first of all, in regulation, and then 1, 2, third overtime, people had opportunities. And we told them by the time the third one came rolling around, the team that can maybe get out in front may have an advantage. So we were fortunate we got out there, got a 2 or 3 point lead.
Obviously, you got a pretty remarkable freshman that you have on your ball club, and it feels like multiple ball handlers, which is incredibly important at this time of the year to be able to trust when you're seeing various defenses. You saw a lot of pressing. That you guys also stuck with the press a long time. Was there any moment in that overtime that you kind of felt like any of your players were running out of gas? Because I do feel like the way that third overtime kind of played out, you guys did have a little bit more energy, got yourself the lead, and DCG just could not quite claw back that last final time and force a fourth overtime.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. I was more concerned with how number 4 for DC was able to shred us a little bit with the basketball, dribbling up the middle and taking it to the rim. And so we essentially, we're always kind of like, are we getting out of this what we want to? But I think the constant pressure and the wearing them down and really paid off for us in the long run.
All right, Coach, you've watched the first half of this one. I know that you're trying to kind of unwind from what was an exhilarating game, one of the great memories that your players and your school is going to have. I know there's a lot of success that Xavier's had in many, many sports. But for you personally, you're sitting here, you're trying to take this in. I know you're going to have another day off to kind of try to put everything together, prepare for whoever wins this game. But I'm sure you saw that second quarter Bishop Heelan put together. That looks like a pretty explosive team that you might be seeing as well. What did you think of the first half?
Well, pretty impressive shooting by Bishop Heelan in that second quarter, and they got kids that aren't afraid to shoot it. They get quick shots. Glenwood's a little bigger, maybe not quite as fast. Heelan's got some kids that can fly and run around, and they play a schedule of big schools up in Sioux City, and so they're not afraid of this venue, and neither is their coach. We've coached against each other a number of times in the state tournament, and when we walked off, I shook his hand as he entered the floor, and and I said, well, maybe we'll get what we wanted is we got to face each other one more time.
Tom Lilly, he's the head coach of Cedar Rapids Xavier. 55-50 the win, 3 overtimes. Coach, thanks so much for hanging around. I know that you wanted to watch this game, get yourself kind of prepared for Saturday, but congratulations. That was an amazing game. We were all happy to be a part of it in this building, and can't wait to see what Saturday holds.
Well, thank you kindly. Just happy to be here, right? Win and move on.
Well, hey, survive and advance, what they say, right? We'll be back with halftime stats right after this, right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars.
and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively,
relentlessly
At your service.
sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines, the S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops, and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's Pizza order outside, so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside. Here for good.
Welcome back in at Wells Fargo Arena. Emery Songer along with Joanna Settles. Halftime between the 2-seed Glenwood, the 3-seed Bishop Heelan. Bishop Heelan had a 26-point second quarter. They opened up a 13-point lead over Glenwood. They lead at 38-25. Joanna, what were a couple of numbers that stood out to you in the halftime?
Well, after a 1-point difference in the first quarter, yes, Bishop Heelan went off for 26 points, but 18 of those were from three-point land. So you know in the Glenwood locker room, hey, we have to cover everyone. Peck's had one, Stanley, Meese, Newberg's had two. They're 7 for 9 now. So you're going to have to extend your defensive coverage, get a handout, make them put the ball on the floor.
And if they do that, then maybe something will open up on the inside. But you saw how patient both teams' offenses were in the half court as well. What do you think about the offense for Glenwood? How are they going to generate some more offense?
Well, they're having a difficult time against the 1-3-1. What's worked for them is when they get it inside, they rotate it to the side, and they try to get it to the back side, the weak side, because that 1-3-1 defense is so overextended.
Our friends over at the Iowa Farm Bureau have been a big fan and big partners. You see their logo there on the scoreboard as Bishop Heelan Catholic a 38-25 halftime lead. We're going to go ahead and step aside for an important message from our friends from the Iowa Farm Bureau, and we'll be back with more on the Girls Union Network powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
I'm Lisa Brinkmeyer, here along with Brent Johnson, president of Iowa Farm Bureau. First off, we'd like to thank you for your title sponsorship of the Girls Athletic Union, as well as the 2022 Girls State Basketball Tournament. Brent, why is it important for Iowa Farm Bureau to invest in Iowa's youth?
Yeah, well, our youth is tomorrow's leaders. And, Iowa Farm Bureau, we put a lot of emphasis in that. And, every year we give $250,000 to kids in scholarships throughout the entire state. Over the last several years, we've provided almost $500,000 in teacher education and products for their classrooms. One of the things that we're really proud of is being able to take care of our students on the athletic fields as well. Iowa is one of only 7 states that even offers concussion insurance. And again, this year, Iowa Farm Bureau, we're proud to announce that at no cost to the student or their families, Iowa Farm Bureau is providing that concussion insurance for those student athletes so that they remain safe and can compete at a high level.
Fantastic.
Hey fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online, so it's time to get your smartphones out. You see that QR code on your screen right now? Just go ahead and scan that or visit IGHSAU.org, IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. We're breaking out of the halftime huddles. We're going to have another 8 minutes on the clock for the third quarter. 3-seed Bishop Heelan with a 38-25 lead over the 2-seed Glenwood. A lot of basketball left to play. I'm Emery Songer. I'm joined by Joanna Settles. It will be Bishop Heelan basketball wearing their blue uniforms trimmed in gold and white. And they have the ball to start things off, and we are underway. Walking it into the front court is Kinley Meese. She gives it back to the point guard, Maddie Dimke. Dimke surveys, and you can already see the defense extending a little bit further out here for Glenwood.
Yes, they are. They know what their matchups are. They will switch on defense, but everyone knows if you have one of those top 3-point scorers, you have to get out on them, and that's exactly what they want. They want them to put it on the floor, take a jumper, and miss it, and then a good rebound by Glenwood so they can go the other way.
And you think law of averages, there's no way they're going to shoot 77% from three in the second half, but you never know. Definitely going to have to make things a little bit tougher, and this end of the floor is also tricky for Glenwood, especially for minutes at a time in both the first and second quarters. Just felt like they really dried up over here. We'll see what they can come up with out of the halftime break. Here's Abby Hughes. She was really the only source of offense that was regular in the first half for Glenwood. Long set here. Handoff to Hughes. Hughes dribbles past Stanley, gets it over. Madison Camden.
She was, but it's Hop and Camden who both put up a lot of points, averaging 18 each. So they're not, they're not out of it yet. You just wait.
Somebody's got to get involved on that front as they'll kick it back out here to Camden. She'll pull back a three. That one, back iron over the backboard. It'll go the other direction. That was a minute-long possession just for Glenwood trying to get into a rhythm, and that was the best shot that they could come up with. This Heelan defense is for real. It'll be interesting to see because now we had an opportunity in the locker room to try to solve this and figure it out. This Heelan defense is something else. Yeah, they score 60 points plus per game, but they absolutely seem to be stymieing everything Glenwood has tried to do offensively.
They do. They do score over 60 points a game, but they only allow 40 on average.
Dimke just a little short on that little runner. It was a nice penetration by her. Hop with it into the corner. Jones. There's Camden, an open look. That's a good look. That one off the backboard first, though. She'll get her own rebound. She wants to go back up with it. She draws the foul, and you can see her trying to be a little bit more aggressive and assertive here. And you can't have too many one-minute possessions that come up empty, down 13, and expect to come back and win the game.
You can't. No, she's got to get the ball and go score.
And that pass a little bit short on the entry. Stolen away, Stanley all the way. Left-hand layup, no problem on the fast break. And those are the kind of turnovers, live ball, that you just can't have as well if you're Glenwood.
No, another turnover. That defense turns quickly into offense for Bishop Heelan.
I did not expect their defense to be this solid, though. I thought we were going to see a lot of points scored both ways. That one, I think that was under the leg. It was not deflected, and it is a turnover again. Crusaders with it.
Again, it is a unique defense, playing those passing lanes, getting trapped almost on every single pass. So it's just a lot of pressure, and a lot of mistakes are made when they do that.
9 turnovers now in the game for Glenwood, 6 on the other side for the Crusaders. Heelan over to Stanley. Stanley, a little bit of a mismatch there, guarded by the much taller Arnold. Kick out, skip pass into the corner. 3 ball. Lauren Peck says, I can nail him too. Man.
80%. That's the one they said they didn't have to go out on, right? Only on her. No.
And then the steal by Peck. And here comes Bishop Heelan again. They're up by 18 now, looking to extend it to a 20-point advantage. Here's Peck in the left corner. By the way, she is the 4th player with multiple 3-point makes in the game for Bishop Heelan. And we're 3 minutes in to this third quarter. I don't know if there's another girls basketball team in the state that would have 4 girls capable of knocking down multiple threes in a game this quickly, as it looks like timeout Glenwood. They're going to call a 30-second timeout. That's on the heels of an IMT-INS substitution, or IMT insurance substitution. Visit IMTINS.com to learn more how you can be worry-free with IMT. And it was Jada Newberg who came into the game there for Bishop Heelan. So yet another shooter that you're going to have to account for who comes into the game to spell some of the starters for Heelan. It doesn't stop.
No, Coach Matt Rasmussen is like, ladies, do you understand? Okay, we have to decrease our deficit, and by giving them threes, it's not going to happen. We're only going to allow them to shoot 2s from now on. So get out there, right? We'll get beat and we'll take a 2, but we cannot allow any more 3-point makes.
And you have a rim protector. Theoretically, if the defense is able to hold steady, and there's ways to beat that, but if you have 6'3" Brindley Arnold kind of patrolling the middle, they're going to have to pull up for 10, 15-footers, and those are not easy shots, especially in a contested situation. And then it turns into rebounding and then taking care of the basketball when you have it, because you would figure, much like the law of averages says Bishop Heelan can't possibly shoot this well the entire game from 3, Glenwood is going to start knocking down some shots. Outside is Stanley. Stanley a little crossover on Hop. Tough shot. Hop just takes it away, and she's fouled. That might be the kind of momentum-changing play there defensively that you'll get from a player like Hop. And now all of a sudden you get an opportunity to kind of shift things. We might have to mark that 30-second timeout down that Glenwood just took to kind of regather the troops a little bit there. Maybe that can turn the tide a little bit. You'd like if you're Glenwood to be within single figures here by the end of this quarter.
You would, but where did that happen? It happened in the paint, and that's where Glenwood feels like they have an advantage. They just got to get the Crusaders to put the ball on the ground again and again so that they can use their advantage.
Now here's that defense, Newberg all over Hughes. Hughes pass to the outside of Camden. Camden cross court, Hop. She wants to go down inside. Arnold, yes.
And there it is. That's exactly what Coach Rasmussen wants. It is a huge height advantage that Brindley Arnold has over Demke.
And I know as that one is tipped and it goes out of bounds, it'll stay down here. She is the fourth leading scorer, but it feels like that's where offensively they do have the advantage. If they can keep her on the floor, speaking of Brindley Arnold, and find ways to get her touches 1-versus-1, the only player that can size up with her is in the game right now, and that's Lauren LaFleur at 6'1" as they go inside. That one too far underneath, but the rebound caroms oddly and off of Camden. It'll stay down here once again. But there's really only that one player in LaFleur, and she does not score a lot of points. So they're trading offense for defense when 31 in blue is out on the floor. Outside at the top here for Heelan is Keel. Newberg to Dimke. And, of course, Heelan with a 16-point lead can't afford to be as patient as they want to on this end. Dimke lost the dribble, and timeout is going to be called by Bishop Heelan. That's a 30-second timeout. Head coach Darren Koolstra wants to make sure that no unnecessary turnovers 25 feet away from the hoop occur. It's certainly a pivotal time in this game. We're halfway through the third quarter. What, though, on this end for Heelan when they have the basketball, does Glenwood need to do beyond just trying to avoid giving up open threes, because there just are so many capable ball handlers and shooters on the floor for Heelan?
Right, it's just not giving much space between the shooter and them. If they're on them, they'll have to stay with them, have quick feet, not foul. They can put them on the ground, and then they've got to out-rebound them right now. Bishop Heelan has a little edge on the rebounding, and they've, of course, they've been making all their shots. There aren't a lot of rebounds, right?
I mean, the rebounding is tight, but both of these teams have hit the offensive glass pretty hard too. And those are different. That's difference makers. You're either clearing, the board, or you're getting an offensive rebound and a second chance opportunity, with both of these teams thrive on as well. As Dimke out of the timeout has it, trying to work on Abby Hughes. Hughes, very tight defense here. Dimke still that 5-second count on, but she's able to lose it for a moment and is able to kick it out. Newberg, top of the key three. This one's short, and the rebound cleared out of there nicely by Arnold. Quickly ahead to Hughes. Hughes in transition. Back to the top to Hop. Hop, one dribble to the left wing. Cross-court pass. And that pass too careless. At this point, you cannot be trying to fit in a pass like that down by 16 points that Kennedy Jones was looking for Arnold. But you can see what the offense is trying to get 35 the ball down low and see what she can do and go to work on a smaller defender.
And there's too many defenders in the middle. You have to ball fake, get the defense to move, and then make that crisp pass.
Yeah, that was an excellent pass. She saw that Brindley Arnold had come onto her, and Jada Newberg found the open LaFleur underneath. Nobody there with any sort of size. An easy right-handed layup, and the lead is restored to 18. Glenwood looking. And there's another turnover, intercepted by Newberg. Newberg ahead. Here's Addison Keel, blocked by Hop. That's two big blocks by Hop, as here's IMT Insurance substitutions. Keel will have a seat. Peck back in for the Crusaders. Also back in for Glenwood is Danica Arnold, and replacing Kennedy Jones.
Jenna Hop, an unbelievable player, 17 points a game.
Oh, great hustle play.
Yes.
Poke and a steal by Camden. Here comes Hop all the way down wide of Arnold, and the turnovers just piling up for Glenwood.
Yes, you have to capitalize on those turnovers, right? And you need to slow down just a little bit and make a better pass.
Because that's about as easy an opportunity as you're going to have, because in the half court, Bishop Heelan just is not giving up a lot of looks.
They're not.
Dimke into the front court. 2:20 or so here left in the third. Here's Peck. She goes around the horn. There's a kick out on the pass from Mies. Yeah, thinking about it was Newberg, but after missing the last one a little longer on the trigger, drives, picks up the dribble, kicks it out. Peck, pump fake, steps back. She wants a 3 on the step back. That one well short. And now we're starting to see those averages kind of start talking, and they are going to change the call and say that it was a deflection. So there you go. That was why that missed so poorly, as there was a deflection off of the shot attempt.
She did make her put it on the ground, so that was good.
That's
right?
a tough
More pressure.
A step back jumper in any case is probably best case scenario for Glenwood defensively. Dimke gets a couple of screens but picks up the dribble, directs traffic, leaves it for Mies. Mies drives, double clutch, no. LaFleur tips it to herself, kicks it back out, pump fake for Newberg, and they're going to say a foul on the floor on the drive on a reach called against Danica Arnold. There really have not been many fouls in this game, despite how physical it has been at certain times.
No, just lots of deflections, lots of loose balls, lots of, two girls going for it evenly.
And the officials all tournament long really have let them play for the most part. Haven't been a whole lot of ticky-tack foul calls. Here's Newberg. Guarded by Hop. Miscommunication on a switch there, but it doesn't end up hurting Glenwood. And there's going to be a hold on Arnold as she kind of tried to, you see it in the NFL or in college football, kind of the wrap around and reach. You're holding on to one side and reach with the other. And she gets called for the foul, third team foul. Nobody really in foul trouble from either side at this point. And we're going to get another whistle. I think they're going to get Arnold again. So right as I say that, Brynlee Arnold has committed 2 fouls in 1 second of gameplay against LaFleur.
LaFleur has been fantastic, right? Coming up with rebounds. She's drawn 2 fouls now.
And her positioning is keeping Arnold away from protecting the rim. Here's Dimke up against the tall players, and then LaFleur knocks this one out of bounds on the rebound attempt. But that's a win. You had a minute-long possession there, multiple opportunities, drew a few different fouls on one single possession. You're going to take that if you're Bishop Heelan, leading by 18 points here late in the third.
Yes, a lot of positives, even though there weren't any points.
Now we have another whistle, and are they going to get Arnold again? They are. And now all of a sudden she has 4. She picked up 3 fouls in the last 30 seconds of play. And now what you thought was maybe the one mismatch they had in their favor on offense has picked up 4 fouls, 3 of which have occurred in 30 seconds.
You don't see that very often.
No.
So she's got to watch her body, watch her positioning, get a little bit lower.
And it was LaFleur all 3 times. Here's a kick out. Dimke from the left wing. Short. Arnold with the rebound, and they can't afford to pull her out of the game with 4 fouls, so we'll see. She's going to have to be careful defensively now as Arnold. Kick out, 3-point attempt, off glass. The bank is open for Danica Arnold. The sophomore buries it, just 3 for 23 from 3 on the season. Hits a huge shot there.
And that's what Glenwood has to have to try to cut this deficit.
Outside, Dimke goes to the top, Peck. Pump fake, she'll drive. Her pass through everybody, and it's going to stay down here with Bishop Heelan. Kennedy Jones will come in. She is going to grab Brynlee Arnold for the time being with those 4 fouls, another IMT insurance substitution. Been a while since we've also seen Stanley. Brooklyn Stanley does eventually re-enter, and she'll grab LaFleur, but what great minutes that Lauren LaFleur has given Bishop Heelan here in the third. If for nothing else, her effort, her energy, and drawing those 3 big fouls against Arnold. Catch and shoot from Peck. Top of the key! Oh, Peck on fire!
Again, Glenwood has to extend their defense. Extend your defense. Get out past 3. They cannot allow any more 3-point shots.
And that was right off the inbound. I mean, just a catch and shoot, found a little bit of space, and quick trigger. They are feeling good about their 3-point shooting. Cross-court pass deflected. Jones gets it, tries to draw the foul, got no call, does get it on the offensive rebound. She will go back to the free throw line for 2 shots.
You also feel really confident taking a shot when you're up 18 in the third.
That too. That probably makes a difference in your confidence level. Jones' first free throw on the way. Good. Jones on the season. Just over 50% from the line is more IMT insurance substitutions. Is Stanley going to go ahead and have another seat? Coming back in is Jocelyn Verzel. Jones on the second. Got it. 13.4 left here for Heelan, leading by 16. They'd like to get the final say here. They've hit 2 shots at the buzzers of each the first and second quarters. Dimke over to the left side. Peck That's a charge. All day, twice on Thursday night. Jones forces the turnover. 5.1 now, and this could be big if Glenwood is able to get a bucket here before the end of this quarter. And
Yes.
Here comes Newberg on the full court pressure. Tossed in by Hughes. It is pulled up. Camden, little runner from three, off to the mark. Heelan maintains a big advantage, leading by 16, heading to the fourth. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action right after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
We are
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars.
and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy.
Behind your everyday.
And we are.
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
It's Fairway Family Food.
We asked 100 grocery shoppers who has the best online shopping.
Fairway Meat and Grocery.
Yes. Name a reason you do your online shopping at Fairway.
Expert shoppers pick out my groceries.
Survey says
Fairway experts hand pick your groceries.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
pick up a great deal when you shop at fairway.com today.
Hey, welcome back here to Wells Fargo Arena. And did you know that Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600? That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply at central.edu. Fourth quarter of action underway. Glenwood in desperate need of some offense. They have scored 32 points in 3 quarters. They will need to get half of that in just 8 minutes of play, trailing Bishop Heelan by 16 points as Kennedy Jones immediately gets a foul called and will go back to the free throw line. First one, too strong.
After heating things up in the second quarter, where Bishop Heelan had 26 points, only 10 points in the third quarter did they score. But they held Glenwood to only 7.
So they still won the quarter as split at the line there for Jones. You still won the quarter and improved your lead despite not shooting nearly as well, as there's going to be an offensive foul. A moving screen. They're going to get it on Verzel. So, you know, as soon as I talked about not a lot of just kind of ticky-tack foul calls and it's pretty physical, not a lot of fouls, I mean, they have really skyrocketed now, and that's the 6th team foul on Bishop Heelan. Glenwood has committed 4 fouls, but 3 of those, most importantly, on Brinley Arnold, the big 6'3" center, who now continues to sit on the bench for the time being with those 4 fouls, 3 of which occurred within a 30-second span of the third quarter.
Really good ball movement here by Glenwood, trying to get an open look for 3.
And they did get the open look, but hop a little short on it. But that's the kind of offense with crisp ball movement and a clean shot at the end of it that's all you can ask for at this point.
Right, and they didn't take too much time off the clock on that position.
And now the trick is trying to get the Crusaders to move at their pace at this point, knowing that Bishop Heelan could sit on this with no shot clock and be able to take 30, 40, 50 seconds off the clock at a time with the ball. Here's a kick out, catch and shoot, Peck. En fuego! Hughes the other way, the lefty finger roll goes down. 16-point lead for Bishop Heelan, 51-35. They are 10 for 15 from 3 in the game. 4 of them have come from Lauren Peck.
I don't understand. You have to get out on Peck and make her put the ball on the ground. Get out on her.
Hustle play. Hop's going to pick up the foul, diving for the ball. Yeah, but at the same time, Joanna, at what point will they miss some shots? They should not be this deadly from outside on the season. This is a 28% three-point shooting team. Inside, Meese got her own rebound and then drew the foul. Stick-to-itiveness. Are they going to give it to her in the shooting motion? No, it'll be out on the side. That is Kennedy Jones picking up the foul. That's her first. Both teams now at 16 fouls. IMT Insurance substitutions. IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. A couple more subs in, and LaFleur back in as soon as Brynlee Arnold comes back in for Glenwood with those 4 fouls. Here is Meese. She drives, thought about picking it up, and then overshoots Dimke, and there's a turnover. That's what Glenwood would like to see, but they have to capitalize on the offensive end.
They do. They did their job defensively. Now they need to turn it around to the other side.
Glenwood with it. Here is Abby Hughes to Kennedy Jones. Back to Hughes. Hughes surveys against this zone defense that has really thwarted all of Glenwood's half-court offensive game plan. To the right side, Camden over to Jones. She had a space for a moment, didn't want to fire. Hughes steps through the defense, a little off to the left on the shot attempt off glass. Rebound pulled down by LaFleur, and here come the Crusaders with that 16-point edge, just under 6 to play in regulation.
She came through too unbalanced, trying to score.
That's just kind of how the game has gone. An excellent deflection on the pass, but it takes a weird ricochet and hits off of a Glenwood leg and goes out of bounds, so it stays down here with Bishop Heelan. Just the bounces are not going Glenwood's way either. Meese trying to inbound it. Will go into the backcourt to Dimke, who frees herself up. 5.5 to go in the fourth. Heelan with a 51-35 lead. Dimke hands it off. Meese. She'll go with the left hand. Hand it off. Brooklyn Stanley tries to cross over. Has it pickpocketed. Camden. Camden surrounded by blue jerseys. Gets knocked down. No foul call. Stolen away by Meese. Here comes Stanley. She finds an open Newberg. Steps behind the three-point line. Splash! It doesn't end.
That's 11.
It is raining threes just south of Sioux City tonight. I mean, not literally because they're here, but you know what I mean. An answer much needed by Madison Camden and a quick timeout called by Brian Rasmussen. And it stays at 16. We'll keep it here. 4:48 to go in the fourth. The two teams are going to talk it over. I'm Emery Songer. I'm joined by Joanna Settles. Heelan on the strength of a big second quarter have a 16-point edge over Glenwood in this 2-3 matchup. Winner will take on the 4-seed Cedar Rapids Xavier, who survived triple overtime against the top seed Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. With that 5-point win, the 4-seed awaits the winner of this one. But the way Heelan is playing, Joanna, it's hard to understand a way that anybody could beat them at this point.
It is. I talked to Bishop Heelan coach Kulstra before the game, and I said, what do you think about the three-point shooting of Madison Camden? How are you going to contain her? I mean, she's number 3 in Class 4A. She's made 55 threes. He said, honestly, it scares me. I think it's a bit ironic. I think we're scared of you now.
11,
your whole team.
11 made threes of 16 attempts, 68.8% from 3. They knocked down 6 threes in the second quarter alone, and it just has not stopped from there. And again, I'm looking at the stats. My eyes are not deceiving me. On the season, this team, speaking of Bishop Heelan, 28.7% from 3. Not remarkable in any way, shape, or form. Probably even below average considering Class 4A competition all season long. And here they are, just cannot miss from outside the arc and have a 16-point advantage. Full court pressure really amped up here by Glenwood out of the timeout. Meese gets it across the timeline. Here is Newberg to LaFleur at the free throw line. She's going to kick it back out to Newberg. Of course, the Crusaders can be very patient here if they want. Pass to Dimke, right side. She's going to put it on the deck, go baseline, left it short, might have hit the bottom of the backboard on the layup attempt. Rebound by Arnold. Here comes Hughes and the Rams. Much needed offense here. Got to go quick. Even with 4 minutes left, have a lot of ground to make up. Here is Hughes, dribbles into the middle. Kick it out to Jones. Catch and shoot on the 3. Well short, no deflection. Rebound Meese. She'll hustle it into the front court around Hop. A lot of contact. That's a block. And it will send her to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Take a deep breath. And that's exactly what Meese is going to do. She'll go to the free throw line where she's a 64.5% free throw shooter on the season. She is 1 for 2 tonight. Front end of a 1-and-1. on the way. The righty spins it off her fingertips, knocks it down. IMT Insurance substitution, Lauren Peck coming into the game. Actually, she's coming in for the shooter, it appears, so they're going to keep her at the scorer's table. And she will enter, assuming Mies makes the second. If she does not, she will not enter the game at this juncture. Second foul shot on the way. Got it. Now Mies will officially exit in favor of Peck. 56-38. Heelan by 18, 4:05 to go in the fourth. It is Hop, Arnold, Hughes, Kennedy Jones, and Madison Camden, the five out there for Glenwood. It is their starting five. Camden in the left corner, double teamed back to the top to Hughes. Stanley all over her. Wearing her like a tight shirt. There's a block. Peck tried to come down in that trapping zone and drew the contact, but it's a block. And this is the one thing Heelan does not want is free throw opportunities with the clock stopped for Glenwood to try to work themselves back into the game without the clock ticking away.
Yeah, but they're such a great hustle team. They're double teaming on every pass, double team, pass, double team. They shift that defense. They're so strong-sided. If Glenwood can find a way to get it to the weak side, but right now the defense is just swarming the Glenwood Rams, and they have no answer.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team is Glenwood, and Camden one of the best, nearing 80% on the season. Made the first, makes the second on a rattle home. Still a 16-point edge here for Bishop Heelan. Stanley gets the inbound, beat Jones, passes ahead to Newberg. Newberg finds it, and there's no foul. That was a dangerous play by Arnold, and you can see her kind of wiping the sweat off her brow as Peck kind of flew into her looking for the contact. Instead, it's a blocked shot for Arnold, yet another one for her there. She has been all over the place when it comes to blocking shots, but also playing with those four fouls. Mies back in. She is going to replace LaFleur. Stays down here with the Crusaders. Newberg looking to inbounds. To the top, Peck. Thought about an NBA range three. Probably not smart at this juncture, up 18. Stanley, lefty floater. Got it over the top of Hop. And every time Heelan scores, it's going to make that comeback attempt much, much more difficult for Glenwood. That pass tipped by Stanley, recovered by Peck. And here comes Bishop Heelan as their defense continues to improve as the game wears on.
Just this 1-3-1, standing in the passing lanes. Glenwood just doesn't have an answer for it.
Got to give all the credit in the world to Bishop Heelan. They had the right game plan and the right athletes, and they are playing probably their best basketball of the season. I'm not sure there's a 4A team that's played better this year than what we've seen Bishop Heelan in this game on both ends. Newberg with it, trying to get around this tight, swarming defense, and Hop steals it from Peck all the way down. A lot of contact, puts it in, and one. It was Newberg who tried to hustle down and draw the charge, but Hop never stopped, didn't allow her to get the position on her, finished the lay-in, and got the and one, the free throw opportunity. The substitution, Newberg's going to come have a seat. It'll be Addison Keel coming in. Free throw on the way. In and out. Rebound Arnold, but it's taken away. Then tipped by Camden. Camden also on the steal smacked Mies in the face. I mean, I saw it from my vantage point, and I saw Mies's face kind of like squinch up, but no foul call. It just is out of bounds off of Glenwood. Inbound pass, Dimke hustles it down, is going to be immediately fouled, and already with 2:38 left, you have no choice if you're Glenwood. You cannot let them take more time off the clock. So now for Bishop Heelan, it's all about shooting free throws. On the season, they came in at 68% from the line, which is pretty average for a Class 4A girls team. Dimke to the line, a 69% free throw shooter, so she's about average for the about average team. Front end of the 1-and-1, got it. And those are the important ones. As long as you get one of two with as big a lead as they have, Joanna, you're probably going to be in good shape with just 2.5 to go.
Yeah, there's nothing about average right now, right? The stats from this, you might have
forget it. Throw it away.
Yeah, get rid of them. All that matters is now and the championship game.
Yeah. She does miss the second one. The rebound pulled down by Jones. Glenwood now needs points, down 17, and that was a tough pass Cross court. Just trying to do a little too much there was Hughes. Trying to find Jones instead of taking the pass to Camden that she had down here in the corner. Tried to see if she could kind of fake the defense out and find an opening, but Meese was right there, made the interception, got immediately fouled, and she's now to the free throw line.
She didn't even see her. She was right in the middle. She didn't even see her until she'd released the ball.
Kind of like a free safety in football, but she misses the front end. Hughes gets the rebound, so the turnover doesn't really hurt her that much. And then poked from behind on the hustle by Stanley. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Glenwood basketball, trailing by 17, 2:23 to go here, fourth quarter. Arnold inbounds it to the top to Hop. Hop inside the three-point arc. Passes it back to Camden. Camden goes right back to her. She thought about a three. There's swarms of blue jerseys everywhere. Catch and shoot three near side. Hughes comes up short. Stanley gets it. Immediately fouled by Hughes.
The Crusaders have such great rotation. They know exactly what they're going to do.
It's like there's 8 of them out there.
Yeah, so like an amoeba.
Every time there's a new touch, there is at least 2 blue jerseys right there.
Yes.
And so, like, and you talked about, like, the skip passes, but the ball is in the air long enough for 2 players to rally to where that ball is.
Yes. They had a hard time getting it from the free throw line right out to the three-point line. They had a jump pass just to get it a couple feet away.
Stanley makes the first. She's about a 70% shooter on the year. Second one up. Biggest lead of the night, 19 for the Crusaders. IMT insurance substitution. Keel comes out. Newberg comes in. Yeah, but that's the other thing here, too, that you have to keep in mind is the energy. We talked about it. They never wore down. I mean, the intensity on the defensive end just kept up. I mean, I haven't, maybe a handful of times have we seen a successful entry passes. This long three off the glass, no good. Quick reach-in foul on Camden. And it'll send Stanley back to the line. Honestly, like in this second half, I know that some adjustments were made both ways, but we have seen maybe 1 or 2 real successful half-court offensive possessions for Glenwood that got a touch inside 15 feet. They just have not been able to get the ball down in there, and that's all due to the credit to the defensive game plan and the ability that they have executed on the floor for the Crusaders. There's another missed free throw here for Stanley, and they've missed a lot of free throws here in the last couple of minutes since the intentional fouling began. If this game was closer, I mean, we'd be getting into kind of muscle tightening range, and Stanley missed them both. Jones the rebound, but it's still a 19-point spread, and Glenwood really going to have to nail a couple of long ones here. There's Hop from NBA range, knocks it down. Timeout Glenwood. And this is the thing. I know it's still 16, and I know it's a complete long shot here, Joanna, but if they come down here, they miss another couple of free throws, and the confidence at the charity stripe might be a little bit shaky. And then you come down and make another three. It could get a little tense because there is still 104 seconds here to try to kill off, and you know it's going to be free throws. Every 2 seconds, we're going to be down here shooting free throws.
Right, and Coach Rasmussen wants to put that thought into their head. You know, we keep fighting, we keep going. Even if you have to step out deeper than normal, get a shot up. This 1-3-1 that the Crusaders are in a defense is really a clinic. This is how you run a 1-3-1. This is how you rotate. It's incredible coverage on the perimeter. They can't even get a look unless they're at NBA 3 here. It also covers the middle so well.
We talked about the we talked about just the size advantage that Brynlee Arnold had inside, but there's just no avenue to get her the basketball. There's just no way to get it to her. As on the inbound, Peck is tackled. That was an accident, but a lot of contact as Jones was going full speed trying to get the steal and just kind of ran right through Peck. No harm, but there is a foul. 2 free throws coming to Lauren Peck. 81% free throw shooter, best on the team of qualified players. This is her first trip to the charity stripe tonight.
We can talk about what a great shooter she is. My goodness. Again, this is not who you want at the free throw line.
Yeah,
so
this is the last player you want to see here.
Look at that follow through.
And I was afraid we had jinxed her too, but not this time.
No.
Peck with 13 now. Second one up. In and out. Well, we did kind of jinx her. 81%, made only 1 of 2. Here comes Glenwood, down by 17. Going to have to get rid of it quick. Camden drives, little floater on the baseline, got it. Meese to inbound here for Bishop Heelan. We'll see, and there's a lot of contact here. Peck is trying to draw a foul on Hop, and I think she has succeeded in doing so. She did. They were both battling pretty hard, but you could tell that Peck was kind of trying to get a little bit of physicality going there just to see if she could use her body leverage against her, kind of as a box out on the inbound pass, and Hop was not about to let that happen without a fight. Not a literal fight, but a little bit of a scrum there, and the first free throw is good from Peck.
Well, they've turned and started face guarding all the Crusaders, so now the Crusaders going to have to go through the defense, and it worked on that play to draw the foul.
And that latest Glenwood timeout, the last two inbounds passes for Bishop Heelan, they have designed to get Peck, their best free throw shooter, the basketball, and succeeded in doing so. Hughes, tough little scoop shot, no good. Rebound, put back up and off by Arnold. Arnold commits the foul.
There's that frustration foul. Great rebound, great offensive board. Didn't fall. A little frustration, go a little too hard for the rebound when you're not in position.
And you see the emotion there from Brinley Arnold. The senior just fouled out her 5th foul. That's the end of her high school career, and you can see how much this means to her. An excellent career, double-double threat every time she took the floor for Glenwood this season. Helped get them to the semifinal, but it's just going to come up short, it appears, as Newberg at the line after she had gotten the rebound makes the first free throw. Second one good from Newberg.
Hop's looking to get a quick shot up again.
Hop fires from about the same spot she hit one a moment ago. Offensive rebound on the miss. No good. That time, that's the other Arnold, the Danica Arnold. It'll be Crusader basketball. Peck gets it. Trying to draw contact. Not an intentional foul situation at this point, and then Peck throws it away. .101 to go. It's Glenwood into the game. Grace Neitzer. Neitzer, a senior, getting some action here on the Wells Fargo Arena floor. Another IMT insurance substitution. Here's Camden. She goes in. A lot of contact. Gets the layup to go. 50 seconds to go. Inbounded to Peck. The trap defense is on. They're not intentionally fouling anymore, though, seemingly willing to play it out, and then they do foul, so Peck will go to the free throw line. And this is a good opportunity for us to talk about the Casey's player of the game. And she is at the free throw line right now. Fans, Casey proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union in today's player of the game. And we're going to go with Lauren Peck. And we'll give you more of that information here as she'll take her first foul shot. Peck on the way. Got it. That's her 16th point. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. As Lauren Peck, I mean, what a game that she had. Her 4 threes certainly were a huge factor in the momentum of this game. And also, I mean, what an unbelievable showing by the entire team from 3, but especially Peck with the 4 long ones and now icing the game at the foul line.
Yes, what a great shooter, the sharp shooter, Peck. Lots of free throws, but she was such a spark plug for her team, hitting them when their team needed it to really take this lead and put it out of reach for Glenwood.
Lauren Roenfeld, another senior for Glenwood, came into the game. An entirely new unit out here, Julie Verzel. She's going to get a tip of this one, try to steal it, can't quite get there. Carly Kobe is also out there, Carly Kobe, as there's a foul and a shot off the mark.
But they're back in the 1-3-1, right? It's a new group, a fresh group, a younger group.
Want to see them play the defense.
They did, and what do they come out? Right away they get a deflection, right?
Kiki Dimke among those also, having just entered the game. Abby Lee, another freshman who's in there as well. And finally, Sophia Kuntz, a junior, as the first free throw from Abby Hughes is good. Second one on the way, also in. Heelan a 68-51 lead with 29 seconds left. Here comes Kiki Dimke, a freshman. Back over to Kuntz. Cross-court pass. They're going to go to the high post. Lee back outside. Cross-court pass is deflected, out of bounds. It'll stay down here with Heelan with 13.9 to go. On the inbounds, they're going to pass it back and forth, finish out this game. And it will be Bishop Heelan going to the Class 4A state championship game, and they will take on Cedar Rapids Xavier on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. for the Class 4A state title. Final score, 68-51. It'll be a 3-4 matchup. Bishop Heelan, the 3 seed, 23-2, taking on Xavier, 19-6 on the season. Let's go ahead and head on over to our PA announcer for the awards presentation. Following the handshake line, of course, which is great to see back here, hopefully post-pandemic. This is going to be the way it stays. Let's go ahead and go down to our public address announcer for the post-game presentation.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Brian Rasmussen and the Rams from Glenwood on an outstanding basketball season. And now Peyton Shermerhorn will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. An excited bunch as Heelan comes up with the win, 68-51. Emery Songer alongside Joanna Settles. Joanna, I guess the biggest question is, obviously Glenwood had an amazing season, and we saw some flashes of that. I don't think we saw the best that they could possibly play, and you got to give a lot of credit to Bishop Heelan for forcing that. But it was really, it's inspiring to see a team that knows that they're down. They were down double figures since the second quarter, still trying to trying to find ways to go. What did Heelan do specifically defensively, though, that thwarted any offensive rhythm that Glenwood was trying to put together throughout this game?
Well, it was their trapping up top. They couldn't get any post action, right? They only scored a few times, very few even offensive rebounds, but it was amazing 1-3-1 defense, and defense wins games, and that's what Coach keeps talking about, and that's why Bishop Heelan continues to play basketball.
They'll play on Saturday afternoon. 2:30 is the scheduled start time as they'll take on Cedar Rapids Xavier. We were here watching a triple overtime game that they were able to outlast. Again, it's one game, it's a small sample size, and every team kind of matches up with each other a little bit differently. But that game was rugged. It was ugly. Neither team, Dallas Center Grimes and Xavier, could really get offense going. Even in the overtimes, it was kind of sporadic, although the energy and the pace seemed to get faster as the overtimes wore on. There's something to what I saw tonight that makes me feel like Bishop Heelan's got to feel very good about their chances to bring home that state championship trophy on Saturday.
Yes, because they had a hard time scoring. Xavier had a hard time scoring until the first, second, and third overtime.
Right, which you can't assume you're going to get those in any game, really, but especially in a state championship game. And if they shoot threes, not even this good, like half this good,
Yeah.
they're going to be almost impossible to stop, especially if the defense is on point as we saw tonight.
They are. They're, they won 2 years ago. They're hungry. They won another one. They didn't like having a year off, and they're ready for Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday, 2:30, the Class 4A state championship game between Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier, the 3-4 matchup, and it's going to be a great game. Joanna, it's been super fun. I think you and I are back at it tomorrow as well.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. We thank you for joining us. And for Joanna Settles and for Dave Mabel, who is our producer, our great producer here today, and all of us here in Des Moines, I'm Emery Songer, signing off. Thanking you for watching our live coverage of the 2022 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.